Hello and welcome to the fourth video. This is going to be concerned with the queries. We're going to have a little bit of different type of queries associated with Microsoft. We're going to be able to do all this sooner or later. We're using SQL, the structured query language. The difference between the structured query language and the query in Access, sorry, it's the fact that we do actually see a query by design, so everything is done graphically. But we could easily do that also as well in SQL. So I'm going to go ahead and start by going to the Create ribbon. I'm going to go ahead and create query by design. I'm going to click on the table author and the table junction in the middle and table books. I like to always do that. I added another one by mistake, no big deal. I'll go ahead and remove it, but what I was trying to say, I like always the table junction in the middle. What I wanted to get from here is the first name and the last name, which I will combine later as a full name. I'm not going to do anything with the junction table unless there is other data that I need, which I don't. This is mostly was done as a functional table that allowed us to link the two tables, author and book. I need the title of the book. I need the price, and I need the quantity, and maybe if it's a hardcover or not. So if you run this, it's going to show you all the different books with the quantity, the price, the title, and of course first and last name. The first thing I'm going to do in the design of the query is to go ahead and put the full name, which is, I'm going to go ahead and use the builders. Hopefully you'll be able to see it better. And I'm going to do it differently. I'm going to start with the last name, concatenation, double quotes, comma, space, another comma, another concatenation operator, which means to link those two texts, and then first name. And here we go. If you notice, if I run this query, you will notice that I have started with the last name, comma, space, first name. Of course, if I do have the full name, which I'm going to go ahead and move it close to before the title, and uncheck the last name and the first name, but keep in mind, meaning when uncheck them, it doesn't mean they should not be here. They must have been pulled from the design to this panel in order for me to create the full name. The same thing, I need to have the full subtotal, and subtotal is going to be price multiplied by QTY, exactly how I spelled it. And if you run this, as you notice, you're going to have the subtotal and you're going to have the full name. The only thing I need to do one more time is to click on the full name and go to the property and change the caption to full name. And also I'm going to go ahead and click on this guy while I am at it, and maybe spell that with the capital S, which is going to look wonderful when I actually look at the header of a query, the header of the also the full name. The hardcover came directly from the table because I did put the caption in there. Okay, so we have now anything that we need to calculate. So I'm going to go ahead and save this query as object, of course, and start with the QRY, and I'm going to call it all data, because I could reuse a query in many other queries, as you will notice. So now I have all the query. Since it's open, I could go ahead and save it immediately as another query, save object, and I'm going to call it query showing books, number of books based on entry, because we don't want to know how much it is all the time. So if I say OK, as you notice, this is my new query. I'll change it to the design, and let's go ahead and say the quantity here. And if I say here greater than or equal to 100, it's going to show me all the book that has the quantity greater than or equal to 100. If I change this to just greater than 100, not equal, and if I run it, as you will notice, I'm not going to see the 100 because everything is greater than 100 left. And instead of being confused about what we want, I could say here let's go ahead and create a parameter query, which is going to start with a bracket. Then I'm going to put the message that the person is going to say, enter a number of quantity, or enter a quantity, and close the double quotes and close the brackets. And here we go. And if you run it, you could choose whatever. You could say 123. Okay, so it's going to give you all the books that have more than 123. So this is a fantastic query that we could take it to report and generate the report, and as a result give it to the manager who asks us to know more about which one of these books have more than 123 books being ordered. Anyway, let's continue with this, because we're going to go ahead and do something a little bit better than this. So I'm going to go ahead and say select based on a specific topic. So I'm going to go ahead and save, go back to the, close this, and save that, of course. I'm going to go back to the query. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and say save as, and save the object. I'm going to say QRY by title or part of title. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and say okay. Now I have a third query. Okay, go ahead and close that. Did I save that query? Enter quantity. Okay, that's the query that ran with the. I'm going to close this. All right, maybe I didn't save it correctly, so I'm going to go ahead and save it again. Save as. I'm going to click QRY by title or part of a title. Okay, maybe I should actually do something with it, then I will be able to save it. Let's go ahead and do this. If I do this one here, let's say enter a title. And if I run this, I'll have to run C programming. And let's see if that's, so it gives me everything with C programming. Let me see if I could save this now. Save that object. And I'm going to say QRY by title or part of a title. Yes, it did it, so I need to do something with it before I save it. It didn't want to allow me to resave it immediately. Now I could go ahead and play with it. So I don't remember titles completely, so that would be really, it's like a tedious task. Maybe I wanted to know anything that has the word programming in it. So instead of saying, as I did it earlier as a parameter, I'll say like. That's a very powerful operator, like. And I want it to start with the wildcard, no matter what is that title start. And as long as it has the word programming. And now we're going to go ahead and also concatenate it with another asterisk, no matter what it ends up with. So if I go ahead and run this, if you notice, it's going to give me anything with the word programming in it. So we have JavaScript, we have Java, and programming. Well, I'm going to assume that I misspelled one of the word programming. That book didn't come up. So if I do really know that I have at least the first four letters are PROG, I could even make it a little bit more dynamic. Instead of using or spelling the word programming, I could go ahead and create a parameter query along with the like operator. So I'm going to go ahead and say enter a portion of your title, and always make sure that you have double quotes and closing a bracket. So now it's becoming a both like and parameter query. So if I said PROG, That's part of it. And you will notice that I'm going to get all the data coming from the query with the word programming in it. So this is really a flavor here and there just to show you how to use a parameter query with the like. If you go to the design and you want to really learn about how to use SQL, there is sometimes I think it's one of the best ways is to go ahead and view. If you run this one here, of course I'm going to go ahead and say PROG, and if you want to run this and after that if you view it with the SQL, notice that's the code really in SQL to show you exactly how you're going to write it in order to get the same result without having to depend on the what do you call it, query by design, which we're going to learn this. So it's going to be a select command, and of course everything is going to be easily related to. All right, so we're going to stop here and we're going to continue with the next videos where we're going to show you how to create a report based on the query all data. We can actually do two queries all based on the query all data. One to do it by authors when I create that, and one is going to be actually done by books. So we're going to have a list of books with their author, then we're going to have authors along with the list of their books. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.